Hi, everybody. Welcome to this quick Mystic Access Minisode.
A Minisode.
Minisode. Why are we having a Minisode?
Because it is July 4th. So we're just saying happy Independence Day for those who celebrate it. And, we're also had a quick announcement. So we have a product announcement that we released actually yesterday. And this is called Audible Adventures. It is a tutorial or documentation or whatever you call it that goes through the Audible book service. And it goes from PC to iOS to Android to Stream to Blind Shell. And it clocks in at about 5 hours and 40 minutes. So it's quite a hefty little thing.
It is. And we're really proud of it. It turned out quite well, and it kind of begins with talking about the foundational stuff, like always with us. What is Audible? How does it work? What do you need? What does it require? How do you pay? What are subscriptions? We talk about things like family sharing, international Audible sites, how Audible and Amazon work together because Audible is an Amazon company. And we talk about some platforms that we don't show, including Fire Tablet and Chromebook. And we just talk about how those work. So if you familiarize yourself with, for instance, PC, you'll be able to use Chromebook, no problem. If you familiarize yourself with Android, you'll be able to use Fire OS, no problem. There's a lot of similarity, and you'll see this as we go through the documentation, between all the different formats, particularly in the apps between iOS and Android. There's a tremendous amount of similarity in how it works.
Absolutely. This is currently on sale as we have convention sales until the 14th. This is just a quick podcast episode to let you know that this is now currently available.
It is, and we really hope you take advantage of it while it's on sale because it's a great price, and we usually don't put things on sale for 30% off. So we hope this is something that you will check out and enjoy. If you are somebody who really wants to get your books at the same time as everybody else, let's say a new release comes out, you don't want to wait a month or 6 months or whatever, or even hope that it shows up on Bard later, because you know sometimes you don't know, then you can purchase it at Audible and pre-order it and have it the day it comes out, have it at the exact same time everybody else gets it. Now, not every book obviously is going to show up on Audible, but so many do. It's such a bigger service than Bard. And so it offers a lot more books, and it offers a lot of variety, too, that you won't necessarily find on Bard, although Bard has gotten tremendously better in that regard. No matter what your library service is that you use, you would definitely find some new stuff at your Audible site or on your Audible app.
And just because you mentioned Bard, because that is so U.S.-centric.
Yep.
You also have your other libraries that are put out by your country, should you will.
CNIB, RNIB, CELA, there are so many. So those are just a few that popped into my head immediately. But yeah,
I didn't want to leave everybody else out.
No, absolutely not. So that's why I'm saying you've got your own blindness library, as it were, and then you've got Audible for your country. It's just another way to perhaps get more reading material, hang around and have conversations at work or at home or with whomever about the latest books in whatever your favorite genre is. So it's just a great social thing as well.
I remember one time I was talking to Timothy Zahn, who is the author of the Heir to the Empire series. It was the one that started out the whole Star Wars genre. And he and I were talking about abridged versus unabridged, and I told him about this one scene that I didn't even know was in the book because I had only read the abridged book at the time, and he goes, "That was a very important plot point." Yeah, well, somebody didn't think so when they abridged the book.
And that's one of the nice things about Audible. You are not going to find very many abridged titles these days. It still happens occasionally, but it's very, very rare.
I think the older ones are still there.
Oh, I'm sure they are. But it's rare these days that you're going to find an abridged title.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of advantages to checking out the service, and we hope you'll enjoy, even if you don't decide that's for you, to learn how it works. And maybe you'll at least find some good books from among the many that we sampled during the course of this documentation. I have some kind of weird taste in books, so I'm kind of all over the place. But you might find something fun that you would like to read, it might be worth checking out and just spending the money to see whether or not it's something that you want to do. So we just wanted to share that quick announcement with you. We're very excited to have a new product out. It's been a while. We're very happy that this is now available, and we hope to get another couple smaller products like this out in the fairly near future. Obviously, nothing's happening for the July-August period because we're going to be busy. Hopefully, we can do more of these. If you like this, definitely let us know. If you get the product, feel free to leave a review for it. Drop us a note. Let us know what you think. And let us know if there are other kind of smaller projects like this that you would like to see more of. Would you like to see something on Bard, for instance, which is the service that we could provide because we're in the States? Because projects like this are smaller and they can be created in a couple weeks. When we have the time, it allows us to do that. And it just worked out where we could get this out prior to convention. So we hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed creating it for you, that you like the content. And if it's not for you, you already say use Audible or you don't care, but you have friends who you know would benefit, please let them know about it. You can either send them to the page on the website or let them know to visit our website, mysticaccess.com. Or even let them know about the podcast if they aren't listeners, and then they can learn more about what we do and our goodies, and maybe they can find something really useful for them. So we appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening. Have a happy 4th if you're celebrating, and otherwise have a relaxing weekend. And hey, it could be a great weekend to get yourself a new book. So perhaps this is the right product at the right time for you. Either way, we appreciate you listening, and we're now going to throw in a quick sample so you can hear what this is all about.
Now let's talk a second about logging into Audible. If you created an Audible account years ago, it may have what's called an Audible username. So you would log in with your Audible username. In general, however, you would log in with the email address associated with your Amazon account and the password associated with your Amazon account. So that's important to note. If you can't get in and you're typing your Amazon email address over and over and over in your password and it's not working, you may want to log in with a username in case your account is that old. I'm not going to show you what it's like to sign up for an account, but I will show you the page and you'll get an idea what is involved. If you are on Amazon and you find a book of interest, you can usually go straight to the Audible version if it exists from there and make that purchase. So you can listen to the preview and you can purchase because the two sites are kind of integrated, at least when it comes to books. So you might find a book that has a Kindle version, which we aren't talking about here, or an Audible version, and maybe a paperback version. So you can access them all through the book's respective Amazon page. Speaking of Amazon, if you have an Amazon Music Unlimited individual plan, or if you're the primary account holder on an Amazon Music Unlimited family plan, you have the ability to listen to one Audible book per month as part of your Amazon Music Unlimited subscription. You can listen to the book that you choose on either the Audible app or the Amazon Music app, but you can only replace it with a new one in your Amazon Music app when your plan renews. You'll locate your book in your Amazon Music library, and there'll be a play, and you can select that and begin playback. Or you can listen to the book in your Audible library. But this is only as long as you're an Amazon Music Unlimited subscriber. If you go to Audible's help page and type in Amazon Music Unlimited, you can find a great article that tells you more. If you need to get help from Audible, you can do so by chat or by phone. So there is a phone number if you want to speak to someone. There's also a chat feature, which is very easy to access, and you will get helpful information. I feel like all my Audible chats, and admittedly I think I've only ever done Audible chats, have been very positive experiences, and your chat representatives can help you out with what you may need. If you don't like an Audible book, you can get your credit back. So you can get a different book. I have not tried this, but my understanding is that it works fine. There should be no issues in doing that. You should be able to return your book. I suspect if you do this a lot, however, let's say you buy a book, read it. Oh, I'm just going to return it. Buy a book, read it. I'm going to return it. And kind of try to game the system. They'll eventually get onto you and, something bad might happen. But if you don't abuse the system, you should have no problem returning a book every once in a while if you need to do so. If it just really wasn't your thing and you don't want it in your library. Remember, the books that you purchase are yours to keep. In general, and I say this for a reason, we'll get to it. In general, the books that end up in your library are yours forever. There are exceptions, We will get to those. But if you bought a daily deal 10 years ago, for instance, it's yours forever. If you bought a book with your credit yesterday, it's yours forever. Again, we will get to the exceptions to this rule. The final note I want to make before we jump into the tour is about other players. If you have another player that you're wondering, does this support Audible? Can I get my Audible books onto this player? Then I encourage you to check Audible's website. This used to be a thing. This used to be something that was very doable with Audible, and they had lists and lists of players that people could use with Audible, where you could transfer your books directly from Audible to your player of choice. Now, though, they pretty much expect that you are going to use either the Android or iOS app or ALEXA, which we will also get to in this documentation, to read your audiobooks. So you can certainly check to see what's available. And the best way to do that is to go to help.audible.com. That's a really good starting place. help.audible.com to learn what's available, how you might do it. But honestly, at this stage, I might ask a chat rep or call Audible and see if you can get some information if you can't find exactly what you're looking for via help, because they do have a very extensive help section. And if it's not there, I would assume that it probably does not work. I don't think they're as focused now on third-party player functionality with Audible as they were even 10 years ago or maybe even 5 years ago, but certainly 10 years ago, this was much more of a focus. Not so much now in the age of apps and smartphones.
Next
Bye.
podcast coming out in a couple days.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.